Syrian Civil War, which began in 2011, has had far-reaching consequences for the region and the world. It was a conflict that arose from the Arab Spring protests and quickly escalated into a complex and devastating war. The root causes of the Syrian civil war can be traced back to long-standing political and social tensions within the country, exacerbated by the autocratic rule of President Bashar al-Assad. The early stages of the conflict saw peaceful demonstrations demanding political reforms and greater freedoms. However, the government's response was brutal, leading to further escalation and the formation of armed opposition groups. The involvement of external actors in the conflict, such as Russia, Iran, and various rebel-supporting countries, complicated the situation and prolonged the war. This external interference transformed the conflict into a proxy war. The rise of extremist groups, most notably the Islamic State, ISIS, added another dimension to the conflict. ISIS took advantage of the power vacuum and chaos to seize territory and commit widespread atrocities. The humanitarian impact of the Syrian civil war cannot be overstated. Millions of people have been displaced, with many seeking refuge in neighboring countries and beyond. The war has resulted in a severe humanitarian crisis. The international community's response to the Syrian civil war has been mixed. Diplomatic efforts, including peace talks and ceasefire agreements, have had limited success in resolving the conflict. The use of chemical weapons by the Syrian government on its own citizens shocked the world and led to international condemnation. This prompted intervention by the United Nations and the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW. The city of Aleppo became a symbol of the war's devastation, with intense urban warfare and indiscriminate bombings causing immense suffering for its residents. The battle for Aleppo lasted years and resulted in significant destruction. The city of Aleppo became a symbol of the war's devastation, with intense urban warfare and indiscriminate bombings causing immense suffering for its residents. The battle for Aleppo lasted years and resulted in significant destruction. The Syrian civil war also had a profound impact on neighboring countries, particularly Lebanon, Jordan, and Turkey, as they struggled to accommodate the influx of refugees and manage the spillover effects of the conflict. The role of media and social media platforms in reporting and documenting the war cannot be overlooked. Citizen journalists and activists played a crucial role in shedding light on the atrocities committed and the suffering endured by civilians. The humanitarian organizations operating in Syria faced enormous challenges in delivering aid due to the ongoing violence and restrictions imposed by various factions. Their efforts to provide assistance to those in need were commendable. The battle against ISIS in Syria brought together an international coalition, including the United States, to counter the terrorist group. This campaign resulted in significant territorial losses for ISIS but did not end the overall conflict. The Kurdish forces, particularly the People's Protection Units, YPG, and the Women's Protection Units, YPJ, played a crucial role in the fight against ISIS. Their efforts garnered international support but also sparked tensions with Turkey. The Syrian civil war also witnessed numerous war crimes and human rights abuses committed by all parties involved. The documentation of these violations is essential for future accountability and justice. The impact of the conflict on Syria's cultural heritage has been devastating. Ancient archaeological sites, such as Palmyra, have been destroyed or looted, resulting in the loss of irreplaceable historical artifacts. The role of foreign fighters, including jihadists from around the world, further complicated the conflict. Their presence and radical ideologies added a sectarian dimension to the war. The Syrian civil war has also had geopolitical implications, with regional powers vying for influence and attempting to shape the outcome of the conflict to their advantage. The United Nations and other international organizations have been involved in efforts to find a political solution to the Syrian civil war, but the path to a lasting peace remains elusive. The impact of the war on Syria's economy has been devastating. Infrastructure has been destroyed, and the country's productive capacity has been severely damaged. The plight of children caught in the conflict has been particularly heartbreaking. Many have been subjected to violence, displacement, and loss, with long-term consequences for their well-being and future. The Syrian Civil War has highlighted the challenges of responding to complex emergencies and the limitations of the international community in preventing and resolving such conflicts. The future of Syria remains uncertain. Reconstruction and reconciliation will be monumental tasks requiring political will, international support, and a genuine commitment to healing the deep wounds inflicted by the war. The lessons learned from the Syrian Civil War are crucial in preventing similar conflicts in the future. Understanding the complexities and root causes is vital for building a more peaceful and just world. The stories of resilience and courage amidst the horrors of war offer glimmers of hope. The Syrian people's determination to rebuild their lives and their country is a testament to the human spirit. The Syrian Civil War serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of political unrest and the urgent need for peaceful and inclusive solutions to conflicts around the world. The war has had a profound impact on the mental health and well-being of Syrians. The long-lasting trauma and psychological scars will require comprehensive support and resources for healing. The role of humanitarian organizations and volunteers in providing aid and support to Syrian civilians deserves recognition and continued support. The international community must prioritize accountability and justice for the war crimes committed during the Syrian Civil War. The pursuit of justice is essential for reconciliation and rebuilding trust. As we reflect on the Syrian Civil War, it is important to remember that behind the statistics and geopolitical complexities, there are millions of individuals whose lives have been shattered. Their stories must be heard and their suffering acknowledged.